Hi, I'm Oscar Goodman, Mayor of the great city of Las Vegas, and you're watching EOtv.
Hello everybody, I'm Randall Mauricio.
And I'm Terry Apostle. Welcome to EOtv and happy March.
It's quite the intro there. Hopefully where you are, the month came in like a lamb.
We may not be able to control the weather, but coming up, we will tell you ways you can easily connect with your customers.
Yeah, we'll also explain how going green can net you more green. That's always good news. So let's throw this thing into high gear, get started.
Do you know how you will grow your customer base during the 21st century? Well, according to Emily Nagle Green, author of Anywhere and CEO of the Yankee Group, the answer is technology. Today, she walks us through the near future from a consumer's viewpoint and talks about technologies that will make connecting with potential customers easier and more cost-effective. Take a look.
Yeah, well, Yankee Group is a connectivity-oriented research firm that's been around for over 40 years. But within the last 2 years, as a research company, we have oriented all of the research work we do around this idea of a future world where things are ubiquitously connected. And the questions that we ask about that idea on behalf of our clients are, how's that going to happen? And what's that look like when we get there? What are the opportunities that emerge? So on a massive global trend level, what's happening is that we have millions of new consumers flooding onto the global digital network every month. And that's because mobile phones are now starting to reach people that would never have been touched by the existing communications infrastructure in places like rural India and China and places in South America even where telecommunications infrastructure was too expensive. So one recent change that people may not even see is that there are millions and millions new potential customers. The principal advice that we give in the book is to understand how urgent this opportunity is for you. And that urgency is dependent on a couple of things. First and foremost, it's dependent on how anywhere your clientele is. If you're hoping to reach rural Indian farmers, you need to recognize how constrained the experience they have is on their wireless device. So I think the first filter for narrowing down the options entrepreneurs have to take advantage of the expansions in connectivity is understanding their target market and where they fit in this whole transition to anywhere. In thinking as an entrepreneur about how would I add a wireless capability to how I reach the customers I have today, there are tremendous explosion recently in tools and resources for that. The biggest difficulty is choosing platforms. Do I want to try to reach my customers with an iPhone app? Do I want to reach them with a BlackBerry app? Is there some way that I can make a choice that doesn't depend on what kind of wireless handset they have? From the entrepreneur's perspective of what technology you invest in yourself, you're actually getting the chance now more and more often to avoid investing in any technology whatsoever and to use software as a service, software that's actually resident in the network cloud. I would look at my own use of technology as an entrepreneur and make sure I'm using as much of that in the cloud, network-based software, network-based services, network-based storage, as possible, and try to lessen my dependence on buying and supporting my own hardware and software. Beyond that, I might start by saying, if I don't already know this, I want to make sure I understand how does my website look from a mobile device. If somebody goes to my website from an iPhone or a BlackBerry or some other relatively evolved smartphone, can they figure out what I do? Can they navigate the site? Can I recognize them as coming to me from a mobile device so that I can figure out how to modify what I have to offer?
Emily also offers her tips for businesses that want to stay relevant in the 21st century.
Depending on what kinds of products or service I had, if I had something oriented towards consumers in the home, I would make sure I understood what's happening in the world of wireless consumer devices well beyond the phone. I would make sure that I had started to come up to speed on e-readers, connected digital photo frames, Chumbies, Rokus, which is essentially a video set-top box in the home, to understand all those new pathways. We are a mobile species. We like to move around, and we have a natural appetite to take our experiences with us wherever we go.
When the economy turns rough, many companies sideline their green business initiatives, but Andrew Winston, speaker and author of Green Recovery, among other titles, says shelving green initiatives can be a huge mistake. So he goes on to explain how green initiatives can help your company preserve precious capital while giving focus to your innovative efforts and strategic priorities.
There's this common misperception that green equals cost, that green is just a cost center, and so that during hard times you can't afford it. But in reality, seeing your business through an environmental lens lowers your costs. In the long run, definitely, and in many, many cases in the short run as well. It also is a great source of innovation. So it's a lot of the path out of a hard economic times is lowering your costs, saving money, and using that money to reinvest in your people and in innovation, and helping your customers lower their impacts and help them reduce costs. And that's a great way to maintain your market share and to even grow it during down times. There's sort of the strategic answer to what do you do first, and what kinds of thinking do you need to do, or what kinds of analyses do you need to do? And really broadly, that's about understanding your footprint to begin with, just mapping out your impacts and just getting the measurements. What are our building energy use? How much energy are we using in travel, in our products, in our procurement? Looking at your full value chain, literally the light bulbs or the above head lighting can save money very, very fast. In the order of months, not years. Looking at your IT systems, everything from if you use a data center or part of a data center, what's the energy efficiency of that data center? Is it built in a way that uses less energy? To the desktop computers. If you've got an organization with a handful of computers, you can put them all to sleep. There's software that helps you put them all to sleep at night and just save money so they're not running all night. There's these kind of little things. And if you have a business that distributes goods, there's a lot going on in fleet and distribution, in making trucks more aerodynamic, or using distribution companies that are aware of these new technologies and these new ways of doing business so that you save money. These are the kind of things you can do first, and then you get to the sort of that travel and telework category of, can you have people work at home, and can you avoid trips to go see clients or other people in your business and other offices that maybe you already know and don't need to go see in person? Can you do that using video technology? I make my living in part going to conferences, speaking, getting in front of people, and I do believe that we're still a person-to-person species. You need to get in front of people to have a real conversation, to change hearts and minds, to sell something. I think that's still the reality. But I think a lot of the way these technologies are being used are within a company. You wouldn't want to stop all flying to see potential clients, clients that you're just building a relationship with. Yes, you probably still need to get in front of them, but I think once you have a long-standing relationship with someone, especially inside a company, you can use these technologies, I think, without fear of losing anything in the relationship. It's saving money, it's saving carbon, it's saving a lot. It's also saving a lot of time. When some big companies have really invested in this, and they get the network effect going, and they have enough of these systems, and they use enough of these free and cheaper technologies as well, they've been estimating, $100 to $300 million of savings every year in traveling less. These are, big numbers even for these size companies. And we're seeing this, over and over again in the companies that have made the commitment to it. But the pressure coming from your own customers and consumers and your own employees, the next generation of workers, all of these trends are not going away. And so the forces are massive. I think if you look at what are the biggest trends in business in this century, sustainability is one of the top 2 or 3, if not, I think, the biggest one. There's globalization, there's technology, and there's sustainability. And this is the reality we're facing. So this is operating in a new reality.
Spoken like a true champ. Thanks for that, Andrew.
We also want to thank Emily Nagle-Green for sharing some great tips with us earlier in the cast.
Yeah, we'll have a brand new tip of the week in just a few days, so don't stray too far. And what would this cast be without my motivational thought?
Well, it would be nothing, Randall, so
Absolutely.
Please, let's hear it.
I am that great. Don't compromise yourself. You're all you've got.
Well, I've also got your back, Randall. Doesn't that count?
No, I have it.
No, I got it, right?
I have it. Yeah, always thinking.
Till next time.
Yeah.